There are 5 mistakes that homeowners make when they refinance. The first one is all they care about is the interest rate. The interest rate is obviously important, but think of it this way. It's kind of like the salary that you make. Is the salary that you make, the actual number, is it important? Or is it really what that salary can do for your lifestyle? You might say, I want to make $100,000 a year because that's a goal or because it's a status thing for you. So it can be about the number, but more than that, it's what will the $100,000 buy you as a lifestyle? How much house, how much car? So don't get hung up on the interest rate, right? It doesn't matter in the end whether it's 10% or 1%. If I told you I could get you a house payment of $100 a month on your $300,000 house, you wouldn't care what the interest rate was because really all you care about is what the payment is. So don't get hung up on interest rate. That is the number one mistake that people make. Number 2, forgetting about the fees. Now, when mortgages are originated, there are 2 numbers, and those 2 numbers work opposite of each other. If you're lowering your interest rate, you're typically increasing your fees. If you're lowering your fees, you're typically increasing your interest rate. So when I say don't forget about the fees because of the interest rate, you've got to consider both. When you're talking to your loan officer or you're looking at a written estimate, make sure you're checking both what the interest rate is and what the fees are that you're paying. If not, you're only looking at one side of the equation. And especially some of the large national lenders will throw a really low number at you, but then they'll charge you a lot of fees that you may not notice if you're not careful. And those fees get added to your mortgage and they cost you money in the long run. Number 3, people forget about the fact that to get the lowest payment, you may actually add years to your mortgage. Well, what do you mean, Michael? Let's say you bought your house 5 years ago and you did a 30-year loan. You now only have 25 years left on your mortgage. If you do a new loan today that's a 30-year mortgage, you're going backwards to 30 years. You now have 30 years remaining. Now that may be okay because you may not be in this house for 30 years. You may only be in it for the next 5 years. So that might be fine. I'm not telling you that's a problem. I'm just saying you need to consider it. Does it make sense to go backwards on the number of years I have left in order to accomplish something else? It's a big mistake to just pay no attention to it. The 4th thing that many homeowners make a mistake on when they're refinancing is waiting too long. Now, this is a very difficult time we're in. We see interest rates, and interest rates are what I would call artificially high. They're high because of COVID, and they're high because of inflation. COVID is, for the most part, handled now, and inflation is back under control. But it takes time for interest rates to tick back down. So we have people who say, well, when is the right time for me to refinance? Should I refinance now at this rate that's going to maybe save me $200? Or should I wait and hope that rates go lower and maybe it saves me $300? Well, there's no universal right answer to this. It all depends on your situation. If things are tight in your budget right now and you need to save $200 a month, then you probably should move forward now and not wait for interest rates to go lower. If, on the other hand, you're more of a gambler and you say, hey, financially, I'm very secure. I don't have to save $200 because I'm not worried about making my mortgage payment, then you might have more time to say, I think I'll wait and see if the rates come down a little bit farther. But the mistake is not considering which is right for you, because it could be one, but it could be very easily the other. And you've got to make that decision with some advice from a loan officer. And then the final mistake that people make when they refinance is they refinance with the first institution to reach out to them. A lot of times that's their loan servicer, the people that you're making your payment to. They've probably already contacted you at this point, either via letter, email, or even a phone call, and encouraged you to refinance because they can save you money. If you immediately respond to them and do that refinance with them, you've probably left money on the table because you're not shopping for the best deal and you're not talking with a mortgage broker like us who can help you shop for the best deal. So that's really one of the biggest mistakes we see people make. Even our own clients, sometimes when we talk to them, we'll say, hey, we didn't realize you did refinances, and our loan servicer called us. So those are 5 big mistakes that homeowners can make if they don't have the right advice on how to move forward with their refinance. If you have specific questions about a refinance opportunity that you may have, we would love to talk to you about them. Just pick up the phone and give us a call or DM me and we'll start the conversation.